All right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, and to the lecturers as well. This video is quickly for Stadio, and what I'm going to be discussing in this video is going to be my teaching philosophy. So when I was looking through it, I felt like the one philosophy or ideology that really aligned with my views when it comes to being a teacher would definitely have to be the problem posing educator. Now, to give you a bit of context, in the creative arts class that I did, essentially we did an essay on Jean Frere, where he writes in his book called The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, and we're talking about chapter 2. So essentially what happens in this book is he talks about the banking education system, where only the teacher is allowed to deposit information. The students play a very passive role. The educator and the teacher is the law, you know. So it's the students, they play a very passive role, but then he says, like, as a counter idea, he gives you this philosophy of the problem posing educator, and this touches on like a lot of ideas, things like, so the teacher is not only the teacher is also capable of learning through having a dialogue with other students as well. And then what also happens is this kind of philosophy, it speaks about creating a learning environment where the students can be engaged in the content, that they can really think about what they're doing. And the nice thing about it is it also encourages an open dialogue between the student and the teacher. And I think that this type of philosophy, it just lines up with everything that I've been doing and learning so far, because essentially it's a philosophy that I agree with for the most part, because I do think that there isn't necessarily a set point where you stop learning, even if you are a teacher, you know. And on top of that, you want to humanize your students as well, and that's also a big thing. So in the banking education system, the students are dehumanized, but with the problem posing educator, they will attempt to humanize the students, because they view the students as their own little historian. Like, everyone has their own backstory, everyone has their own historical, cultural, physical backstory. And yeah, so the teacher will view the students as historians, and the teacher will also view the students as people. So they're not just some students where you deposit some information and then you leave it alone. No, no, no. This is what the problem posing educator does. And when I particularly agree with the fact that yes, the teacher should have an open dialogue with the student, and then on top of that, what I also think is there's a good dialogue. So it just aligns with a lot of my ideas about teaching, and just a lot of what I already think should be there. So yeah, that is my teaching philosophy, and thank you so much for listening.